Right, what are the conditions that you need to make sure are in place for sadhana to be of benefit? Now we're going to the practicalities, right? What do you have to do and know to make the sadhana work effectively for you? So Swami says the first is that sadhana must be pleasant and moderate. If you hate doing the sadhana, don't do it. Right? Just tell you get up at 4:30 in the morning and do Omkar, Supravatam and headstands or whatever. And you hate doing that, don't do it. There's no value in begrudgingly doing a sadhana. It has to be pleasant to you, and there's lots you can choose from, so you don't have to do all the sadhanas. Choose the one that appeals to you. And then it must be moderate. So don't go like a mad person, like, you know, you get so fanatical about it for like 1.5 weeks and 3 days, and then you drop it. And that's useless. Moderate means steady progress, right? Balancing it out with your other things in the day, but it's steadily having its benefit for you. Right? So the sadhana must be pleasant and it must be moderate. Right. Secondly, you must develop consistent, unflinching discipline. That's called nishtha. Steady, unflinching discipline. In other words, if you decide, that's my sadhana, I get up every day at 5 o'clock, I do the Omkar. It must be every day 5 o'clock. Can't do one day at 5 o'clock, next day skip 2 days, 3 days, and then get back. That's not unflinching. This is a steady discipline. When you made the commitment, you must develop that unflinching discipline. Okay? So in other words, we can ask you, have you got nishtha? Steady, unflinching discipline. Ask yourself, rather, have I got the nishtha? Right. Sadhana is only fruitful if you have developed character. The Swami, this is a very interesting comment he made. He says that if you do sadhana without first developing some of the virtues that establish the fabric of your character, the sadhana won't work. Right? So one of the prerequisites, almost like the foundation, is you've got to start developing virtues. Right? And the virtues are really all your human values and their sub-values. Right? So take a look at your value system. What values do you live by? In little things in your life, like when you relate to your family and your children, husband, wife, what values are operating? When you operate in your workplace, what values are operating? When no one is looking, what values operate? That's the best one, right? Then you really know yourself. Right? Because now it's you're judging your own intent. There's only you and God. Come up from that one. You and God. And so you want to establish those virtues. So practicing the virtues is important. Talking about Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa is not of any value. It is adopting it and living it in your everyday life. So choose the virtues that you think are valuable. You will know them because your family has given you some of those values by the way you have lived. Parents usually put into place some of these. Right? Some parents forget to put that into place and then you've got these monsters around you. So no bad children, only bad parents. Right? So you have to remember that. Swami said, there are no bad children, only bad parents. So you didn't get it right, so let's start doing it. Here's another thing he said, that after the age of 16, you cannot correct an individual. Right? If the values are not in place by 16, unlikely they're going to develop it. So this is the age to awaken it. You can't instill values. You can't teach values, you can only awaken them because they are latent in every human being. Right? So values are already there, you just have to blossom them and expose them. And that's done by practice. Constantly correcting yourself to those. So values are like reference standards. In other words, what's your internal reference standard? What set of values makes up your internal reference standard? That will define your character. Okay? The more values you have, the more strong you are with living those values, the stronger is your character. You won't give way to the downside. Right? So who's got Mnet at home? Only one person. Channel 109, you're watching. Yes? What's on 109? Star Wars. Right? Good homework for all of you. You should watch the Star Wars series. Six movies. Right? And then you start, it's unbelievable how this guy has written this thing. It's the whole story of the human character. Yeah. everything, the dark side, everything. It's about the higher values, it's about the source, which is, they call it the force, which is...
I thought I was the only one that thought of it.
No, it's a known phenomenon.
I thought I was going crazy. I was trying to relate that to this. I'm thinking it makes sense.
You are crazy, but it's a good Right, so watch it. It's a very interesting way to approach your spirituality, because in that movie, the dark side shows you all the stuff, the hate, the anger, the revenge, the deceit, all of those things, right? And what it does to you when that starts to play out in your life. It's like a very interesting construct, this movie. But it also puts into perspective the discipline, the sadhana needed to become the Jedi, to become the master of your mind and to be connected to the force or the source, as they call it, right? So that's the spiritual process. The whole movie, all the movies are a spiritual thing. A lot of shooting and all, but that's you can get the rest of it, right? But it's a fascinating insight into the spiritual condition of man. And he's drawn from many, many different spiritual cultures. Buddhist culture, Hindu culture, Greek mythology, all of those things, all describing the eternal journey of man to his source. Okay, so worth watching it. When you watch it, view it with reference to what you're learning in this course. It's an absolutely amazing insight into how to. Those of you who haven't got it, get yourself invited to someone else. You can all go to his house. Okay, start with it. It's 6 episodes. It's worth doing it as a sadhana for this group, by the way. Put it out. It's like about, each one is about 2.5, 3 hours, but it's worth sitting and waiting for it. Right? No, not sorry, it's 1.5 hours. 2 hours. Okay. I think you can get it in DVD format. Yeah. I mean, the movies were made in the 80s, so 76, so 77, so they quite go far back. But the message is very, very current. It doesn't ever fade. Right? So do yourself a favor, watch this thing. It's like phenomenal when you understand the background. With the knowledge you're getting here now, it's like a movie version of it. It just reinforces ideas for you, gives you like tangible ways in which it is applied, how the dark side takes over and what it can do.
It applies to today's reality.
Today's reality, absolutely. It's a kind of an eternal, it's almost that kind of movie is going to become like a legend in its own right. It'll become that. Yeah. Okay. So I told you about Star Wars. Character, we said that it's the character that forms the bedrock on which you can develop your sadhana. No character, no sadhana. So start investing in adopting your value system. That just comes by awareness. You must know what the values are that you want to live by. Give me an example of your values that make up your character. Right, 1 to 5 from the boys' side, 5 from the girls' side.
Honesty.
Honesty.
Truth.
Truth.
Non-violence.
Non-violence.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Integrity. All of them you've only given me from one value. These are sub-values. Any more?
Patience.
Love. Okay. Ladies?
Compassion.
Compassion. Kindness. Forbearance. Patience. Tolerance. Patriotism. Your country, right? So there are about 83 of these sub-values. We should get that chart with these values and make sure everybody's got it. Do we have one? Okay, worth looking at it every now and then to see what values are already operating for you, what values are not, what would you like to adopt, put them into place. Don't try and do all 83 like next week. Won't work, right? Take the ones that are meaningful to you, but once you adopt it, it must become part of your life ongoing, right? So that value thing is something you construct day by day, put it into place and live it. The challenge will come when you are facing adversity and things are going wrong. The values kick in until you know, don't do that. Choose this stuff. Then you know it's working. But if you put the value into place and you do the exact opposite, then that's not strong enough yet for you. You have to work on it. So just remember that sadhana only gives you the benefit if it's done on the basis of a reasonably strong character. Right. Next quality needed is that you must develop one-pointed awareness. One-pointed awareness. It's called ekagrata. E-K-A-G-R-A-T-H-A-M. It means one-pointed steady awareness. So the big challenge in sadhana is that when you're doing it, because we've got this vikshepa, it keeps like going somewhere else. Right? So you notice how when you're singing the bhajans, like the first 10 seconds you're like fixed on Ganesha, and then suddenly your mind is like all over the place. But the rest of the time you're sitting here just getting your bum sore. The mind is not fixed on it, right? So you have to train your mind into how to get this one-pointed awareness, right? So the very first sadhana that we're going to train ourselves in, that's next module, is going to be on how to practice ekagrata. Right? It is a monster technique. Eh?
Please spell it again.
E-K-A-G-R-A-T-H-A-M. It means steady one-pointed awareness. Right? Anyone who is a student, well, if you're on a spiritual path, this is a master attribute you have to develop. Without it, everything else doesn't work. If you're a student, even more important that you should learn it because it will serve you in your studies and everything else you do. Right? With one-pointed awareness, you are able to master the sadhana more effectively. Because if your vikshepa is playing up in your mind, you start the sadhana, it keeps going all over the place. There's no value because you're just sitting and wasting time. Only with that steady one-pointed awareness can the sadhana blossom into what it offers you. So ekagrata. Right. Then the next one is, we've talked about this, must be done out of the public eye. Don't vulgarize your sadhana by going and sitting on the side of Higginson Highway. So some sadhanas are done as a group. So like say, as a group we do Omkar, that's acceptable. It's not public, you're all sadhakas on the spiritual path, so that's different. But on the day-to-day basis, you're doing this in your own home, so make sure it's private and you do it. Only Swami is your witness to this thing. Right, you must develop patience, forbearance, and tolerance. So that's part of your character family. Patience, forbearance, tolerance. Right, you must invest in that as part of your development. Because now you start the sadhana and say, oh man, I did like 1,000 omkars and nothing happened. You've got to have the patience. This thing takes its time. You don't know how dirty is, right? So the sadhana will work. Just give it some time, it will do that. It's like a detergent, it will slowly release the stuff. So you need patience for that. You need forbearance to be able to continue with it, even though looks like nothing is happening. Tolerance to be not giving in to distractions that other people may put in your way.
I just want to know in this particular video, give us how to develop it.
Sorry?
How to develop it.
Ekagrata. Yeah, we're going to do that the next module.
Can you just give a few points now?
No, you're going to get it wrong. If you learn it wrong, forever you've got it wrong. Right? I'm giving it to you from experience, where we just told people to do this and then they don't know how to do it, and you'll never get it right after that. Right? Don't panic. In 30 days, get your ticket.
She's a student.
Yeah, I know. 1 month in a student's life is neither here nor there.
Busy for exams.
No, you won't make any difference to this coming exam. The next exam, yes. Don't worry, you'll get it. But now all you have to do is remember to do the Gayatri and dedicate the exam to Swami.
Actually, it's more for my sadhana, not so much for academics. Sadhana.
Yeah, let's do it in stages. There's a lot here to put into place before you get to Dr. Sadhana. Don't put the cart before the horse, you're going to get really trampled if you do that one, right? So you've got to get it right. And we're going to start with ekagrata because it is one of the most important ones. Right? In fact, the first sadhana is your diet change. How many of you have put that into place now? No hands going up. Hi. Who's put the diet thing into practice? And your other blokes? Okay. Monday. Start with no, don't wait. Sadhana starts like now. we're not expecting like huge changes. Don't try and change everything. Slowly,
With Patasi.
eh?
With Patasi.
And then we continue on.
18th of September.
Yeah. Very good time to start. But remember, there's no good day, bad day, any day, any moment is time to start. It's a decision you're making. You make the decision, now go for it. Like, what are you hedging for? Swami says, all these things are like a poisonous cobra you're holding in your hand. You're thinking about letting it go. No, throw it. Immediately you know it's wrong for you, throw it away. Don't argue for why it's good for you. You're arguing for your limitations if you do that. Right? Get rid of it and move it on. So start making that change, the diet change. Then the next step is going to be the ekagrata. Right? Now, you cannot practice the ekagrata if you haven't done the diet change, because the food is going to wobble your mind. Right? Here's ekagrata, which is the opposite of vikshepa, and you're trying to do this ekagrata, but you're eating all the rajasic foods and the tamasic foods. What do you think is going to happen? Vibrations. You'll keep making your mind restless. That's the opposite of what that's why Swami says the diet change is your first sadhana. It's the bedrock on which everything else works. Then character. And food will also change your character by the way, make the change. All right. Right. Next one is good health. Absolutely necessary for sadhana to be successful. And he says that ill health is a great nuisance to the sadhaka. It's a great handicap. So if your back is hurting, your knees are creaking, head is probably hormones up and down, can't do sadhana. You're more body aware of anything that's uncomfortable. You cannot have that one point of attention. Right? So look after your health first. There's a whole lot of things Swami has said about health, which we can do at another stage. But let's get that part of it going. So how many of you are interested in a sadhana camp at some stage? So we take you away for weekends. Come from Friday, come back on a Sunday. We intensify the sadhana. We learn how to do it in the right environment and so on. Okay, we'll plan that. Okay. And the last is that you must be consistent about the times that you do the sadhana. So if you decide on doing Omkar in the morning, 5 to 5:15, don't change it. That's the fixed time. That's your appointment with God. If you say, I'm coming to bhajan, the bhajan is 7 o'clock, and you stroll in like 9 minutes past 7, not good enough. I'm going to be there. If you decide that you're doing the Gayatri 3 times a day at these times, then you'll be done. Not this time one day, another time another day. That's all too inconsistent. You've got to develop the methodology right for yourself. So your commitment to the times is part of your training to do this. Okay? Okay, any questions on that? Conditions needed for this to work?
Great. How many times should one chant the Gayatri mantra in the space of three times a day? How many times?
Each time you do it, you must do it 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah. Each time you chant the Gayatri, it's 12 seconds. So 36 seconds in the morning, 36 seconds at midday, 36 seconds in the evening. It's called the Sandhya. It's like dawn, midday, dusk. But Swami said you can chant it anytime, for anything. All right. No further questions on this? Right, let's look at the types of sadhana. This you want to make a list of because it's like your...
Sleep too, it must be scheduled to certain night.
Yeah, that's all part of your health. You know, for you to be healthy, you need a minimum of 8 hours of sleep a day. So Swami has said, in the 24 hours, 8 hours is for sleep. 8 hours divided into 2 4-hour segments is for your sadhana, spiritual practice, morning and evening. The other 8 hours is for work. Notice he didn't say movies, Star Wars and sadhana. Right. Yeah, so sleep is very important. It's part of the health that you have to have. You know, if you sleep deprived, your mind goes all funny, you feel exhausted, irritable, all of those are the lower impulses. You're lowering your vibration when you allow yourself to be sleep deprived.